When John Deere issues a profit warning, it's not just Wall Street that takes notice. The news echoes far beyond the trading floors of New York, reverberating across the fields and small towns that depend on agriculture for their livelihoods. It's a wake-up call for all of rural America. Every farm, every small business, and every family that relies on the land feels the tremor. The iconic green and yellow tractors are more than machines. They're the backbone of American agriculture. For generations, John Deere has symbolized progress, reliability, and the promise of a good harvest. Deere's warning signals a deeper crisis. Farmers are delaying equipment purchases, squeezed by rising costs and shrinking margins. Many are forced to make do with aging machinery, patching up what they have instead of investing in the future. This isn't just about one company's profits, it's about the health of our food supply and rural communities. When farmers struggle, the effects ripple outward, touching every corner of the local economy. The ripple effect is real. When farmers hold back, small towns and local businesses feel the strain. Shops close earlier, diners see fewer customers, and the sense of uncertainty grows. Years of trade disputes and supply chain shocks have left the industry vulnerable. Global events, tariffs, and unpredictable weather have all added to the pressure, making it harder for farmers to plan ahead. Now, Deere's slowdown makes these challenges impossible to ignore. The sight of unsold equipment and slower production lines is a stark reminder of the uncertainty facing the industry. It's the sound of factories slowing, farmers patching up old equipment, and anxiety spreading through America's heartland. The mood is cautious, with many wondering how long they can hold on. John Deere is a bellwether for the agricultural economy. When its outlook dims, the shadow stretches far. The company's fortunes are tied to the fate of countless farms and rural businesses. If farmers aren't buying, it's because they can't afford to, or they're too uncertain about the future. Every delayed purchase is a sign of deeper worries about next season's crops and prices. This isn't just a financial report, it's a distress call from the heart of America. It's a signal that the challenges facing rural communities are growing more urgent. The warning urges us to look closer at the policies and pressures threatening rural communities and our food security. It's a call for action, for support, and for solutions that address the root causes of the crisis. The stakes are high. The foundation of our nation's food supply is at risk. The health of our farms determines the strength of our communities and the security of our food chain. Ignoring this signal could mean missing the early signs of a much larger crisis. The warning is clear. The challenges are mounting, and the time to act is slipping away. The time to pay attention is now. The future of rural America and the nation's food supply depends on it. At the center of this crisis is a tangled web of tariffs and trade disputes, a situation that has grown more complicated with each passing year. What began as an effort to protect American jobs and industries has spiraled into a global standoff, with consequences rippling through every link in the supply chain. Tariffs meant to protect American industry have instead driven up costs for manufacturers like John Deere, who now face higher prices for the materials and components they need to build their products. The very policies designed to shield them have become obstacles to their success. Steel and aluminum are more expensive, making every tractor costlier to build and to buy. These price hikes ripple outward, affecting not just the factories, but also the dealers and customers who rely on affordable equipment. These costs are passed down the line, hitting farmers hardest. For many, the increased expense of new machinery comes at a time when their own profits are already under pressure. Retaliatory tariffs from other countries shrink markets for American crops, leaving farmers with less to spend and fewer options to sell their harvest. The impact is felt not just in lost income but in the uncertainty that clouds every planting season. The global supply chain remains fragile, with manufacturers dependent on parts from around the world. Disruptions in one country can quickly lead to shortages and delays everywhere else, making it even harder for American businesses to compete. Tariffs add complexity and cost, making it harder to get what's needed to build here at home. Delays in receiving critical parts can halt production lines, putting jobs and livelihoods at risk. The result? A self-inflicted wound. Policies meant to help have instead hurt both manufacturers and farmers, creating a cycle of rising costs and shrinking opportunities that is difficult to escape. Deere's profit warning is a symptom of this cycle: rising costs to build, falling ability to buy. The warning signals trouble not just for one company, but for the entire ecosystem of rural America. Factories and fields alike are caught in a vice, squeezed by forces beyond their control. The connection between rural and industrial America has never been more apparent or more strained. The cycle is vicious, and it's being felt across America. From small towns to sprawling farms, the pain is real and growing, threatening the future of communities that have long been the backbone of the nation. To fix it, we must rethink how we approach trade and manufacturing. It will take cooperation, innovation, and a willingness to adapt to a changing world if we hope to restore balance and prosperity. Otherwise, the wound will only deepen, leaving lasting scars on the landscape and the people who call it home. With new equipment out of reach, farmers are keeping old machines running longer than ever. That 15-year-old tractor may lack new tech, but it's paid for, and that matters when every dollar counts. Farmers have become expert mechanics, patching up aging equipment season after season. This keeps costs down but creates new problems. Demand for spare parts is soaring, and many must be imported. A breakdown during harvest can be devastating, and finding the right part is often a race against time. Relying on old machines and foreign parts is risky and unsustainable. Older equipment is less efficient, more polluting, and more prone to failure. What seems like a smart fix today could undermine American farming tomorrow. The hidden costs of this trend threaten the long-term health of our agricultural sector. The struggles in America's fields don't stay there. They show up at your grocery store, affecting what you see on the shelves and how much you pay at checkout. Higher costs for farmers mean higher prices for bread, meat, and vegetables. Every item in your cart reflects the challenges faced by those who grow and raise our food. When it's more expensive to plant and harvest, those costs are passed on to you. Rising fuel, fertilizer, and equipment prices all add up, making it harder for farmers to break even. But it's not just about price. The stability of our food supply is at risk. Empty shelves and low stock sections are becoming more common, leaving families worried about what's available. Farmers cutting costs may plant less or switch crops, reducing the variety and quantity of food produced. This can lead to shortages and less choice for consumers. And old equipment raises the risk of harvest failures. When farmers can't afford repairs or upgrades, a single breakdown can threaten an entire season's work. A major breakdown could mean real shortages and even higher prices, as less food makes it from the field to your table. Rural communities feel the pain first: fewer sales, lost jobs, and young people leaving for better opportunities. The ripple effects are felt far beyond the farm. The crisis in farming is a crisis for small towns and for the nation's food security. When farms struggle, entire communities are put at risk. John Deere's warning is a signal. Our food system's foundation is under strain. The health of our farms is directly tied to the health of our economy and our families. A strong farm sector means affordable food and vibrant communities. It means security for families and stability for businesses across the country. When that sector struggles, everyone pays the price. Rising grocery bills and uncertainty at mealtime become the new normal. The link between a tractor factory and your dinner table is direct and vital. Every step in the chain matters, from manufacturing to the meal on your plate. We can't afford to ignore it. The future of our food, our communities, and our families depends on the strength of American agriculture. America's unpredictable trade policies are pushing old allies to look elsewhere. Once seen as a reliable partner, the U.S. is now viewed as uncertain. Latin American countries, long tied to the U.S., are forging new trade deals with Europe and China. These new partners offer what America no longer does: predictability. For exporters in Brazil or Chile, diversifying away from the U.S. is economic self-preservation. The result, a realignment of global trade, with America losing influence in its own backyard. Fewer exports mean fewer opportunities for American farmers and manufacturers. Economic ties are the foundation of strong diplomacy. Lose them, and you lose leverage. The America First approach may be leaving America behind. As others fill the void, the U.S. risks being sidelined in global trade. The consequences reach far beyond economics. They shape our future role in the world. The crisis is real, but solutions are within reach. First, we must reinvest in our infrastructure: modern ports, railways, and highways to move goods efficiently. Affordable, sustainable energy is key for both manufacturers and farmers. A resilient energy grid lowers costs and boosts competitiveness. We need smarter, more regional supply chains, working with Canada and Latin America to reduce global vulnerabilities. Supporting small manufacturers and expanding rural broadband will connect communities to new markets. Job training programs can prepare workers for the industries of tomorrow. Rebuilding the Heartland means investing in infrastructure, energy, and people. It's not about looking back. It's about preparing rural America to thrive in a changing world. The time to act is now. We're at a crossroads, and John Deere's warning is impossible to ignore. Trade disputes and neglected infrastructure are weakening our farmers and manufacturers. The world isn't waiting. New alliances are forming and trade routes are shifting. The question, can America adapt and lead, or will we be left behind? Success means investing in infrastructure, energy, and resilient supply chains. It means building bridges, not walls, collaborating, not isolating. The choice is clear: adapt and thrive, or risk losing our place in the world. The future of rural America, our food supply, and our global standing are at stake. The time for debate is over. The time for action is now. The world is watching to see which path we choose.